Now, in today's video, we're taking a look at the brand new, just announced SoundCore Space One. These are incredibly sounding, active noise canceling headphones that are going to give you spectacular battery life. We're talking about 40 to 50 hours worth of battery life if you have active noise canceling on or off. So in this video, we're going to do the EBPMAN style call quality and audio test. We're going to go over the features, and we'll see why you'll want to consider the brand new SoundCore Space Ones. Let's go ahead and check them out. First thing we're going to do is cover the specs. And you heard at the very beginning during our intro that these have 40 hours worth of battery life with active noise canceling on. Now, if you happen to turn it off, you're looking at 50 hours of usage, which is going to give you obviously that little bump of 10 hours. Now, if you happen to extinguish the batteries on these guys, within 5 minutes, all you do is plug them in for 5 minutes, you're going to get 5 hours more of battery life. Now, they do feature Bluetooth 5.3. They also have high-res audio, so you're going to get the best audio experience possible through a wireless device of this type. Now, in addition to that, they do feature active noise canceling for calls, which means that they really focus on voices. And funny enough, they kind of focus on the things that we test here on the channel. So they're really looking for, looking at noise during calls for children crying, all these kind of noises that we're testing here. So we're going to see how well they do. In addition to that, well, there's more. They're talking about that they have active noise canceling that is listening to everything that's going on in the environment to give you, again, a great experience. The earpieces themselves, you're going to see them, they're more than swivel. They have this really cool floating access design that gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to comfort. They're 40mm drivers. You have 5 transparency modes, and you also have Hear ID, which means that it's going to calibrate the music experience to the, I would say, your hearing quality or what you can hear more about. And they also have Hearing ID, which is going to test your hearing and give you the best hearing experience based on your ability to hear different sounds. So you're going to go through a small hearing test in order for it to be calibrated. So let's talk about audio. Now, from an audio perspective, bass, mids, and highs are present. I actually like these with bass boost on, and I have that, and you're going to hear that in our audio test. Good music separation. Good, I would say, immersive experience, so it doesn't feel like the music is playing at you. It feels like you are in the studio with the artist, either singing or playing the instruments, or both, and depending on the kind of music if you're listening to it. I would also say that the active noise canceling does a fantastic job as well. But we're going to give you 2 sample tracks that you'll be able to listen to, and we're going to go through our EBPMAN style call quality test to see how well they perform, especially since they claim that their ANC ability for calls and focused on voice is 2 times stronger than some of the other products they have. Let's go to check it out. Now, let's take a close look at the headphones, and there's a lot to like about these. These are incredibly light, and they have a lot of swivel function. Check that out. Look how much swivel you have there. In addition to the swivel ability, you do have a hearing sensor inside, so that as soon as you wear these, if you take them off, it does turn off or pause. You have your left and right indicator. They don't vice at all when you're wearing them. And you can see the mics as well as a power button, your audio input or output actually. And then you have your USB-C charging with your power and volume and all the good stuff that you see there. Active noise canceling that you can turn it on, and transparency mode. This also features where you're able to put your hand on top of the headphone for it to switch to transparency mode, so you can hear someone if someone does walk up to you and you're wearing this in an office setting. You will have also audio cable, USB-C cable, and it doesn't have a travel pouch or hardcover, but it has a little travel bag.
You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different, still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments, doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors, they kinda tell me what I'm thinking. I fell in love.
Next, we're going to do a call quality test of the SoundCore Space Ones in a quiet environment. If we take a look at our decibel readings, anywhere from between 29 and 31 decibels of noise. It's going to switch. Now, this is what the SoundCore Space Ones would sound like in a quiet environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Next, let's add some wind to the environment. This is what the SoundCore Space Ones would sound like with wind in the environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now we're adding some significant noise to the environment. We're going to see how well these perform by staying quiet and seeing, what the sound levels look like. And then what we're going to do is we're going to continue with the audio test to see how much of our voice is actually being heard. If we take a look at our decibel readings, you can see that it's right now anywhere between 44 all the way up to 79 decibels of noise. That's pretty loud. So let's go ahead and switch. And this is what the SoundCore Space Ones sound like in a noisy environment. This is the test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now, if you wonder what the Space Ones would sound like with an infant crying in the background, well, this is what they're going to sound like if an infant were crying in the background. Now, if you're wondering what they'll sound like with a dog barking in the background, well, this is what they're going to sound like with a dog barking in the background. Now, if you're wondering what they're going to sound like with a doorbell ringing, well, this is what they're going to sound like with the doorbell ringing. Now, let's take a look at the app and see all the configuration choices that you have. So first of all, you can see here clearly your Space Ones. In addition to seeing your Space Ones, you see the battery level. You can turn on active noise canceling. You can go into normal mode, and then you can go into transparency mode. And you notice that you have transparency mode. You have those 5 levels. All you do is you move up to the point that you get this type of transparency mode that you're looking for. And what I would say is that the transparency mode, at least from what I can tell, doesn't really sound digital, sounds more transparent. But as you get higher to that 5th level, it tries to amplify it somewhat. So there's some amplification going on there. You could also turn on wind noise reduction if you'd like to. You have easy chat, and you can see this is where you're able to touch the actual headphone, again, the cone here, or this area here where you have the actual speaker. And what it will do is it will allow you to enable the transparency mode so that you can speak. Now, you also have your sound effects, and I have mine set to bass boost. You can also go through the customized version to have your hearing, and this is important. I always hear sometimes folks will ask me, how loud is it? I want something that's loud, and that could be because of hearing deficit, right? So what you want to do is go through the hearing test. If you are one of those people who like it really loud, you may not need it loud, it's just your hearing. Go through the hearing test and see if you need something that's that loud after you do that. You also have your controls here, and then you can see the controls. You press 1 to cycle through cancellation, transparency mode, and then you could also then configure that. I think that's a nice feature. And then it does have a safe volume so that you'll be able to determine, what your safe volume is, right? So, and that's also pretty cool. And then you can also you can actually set up the limit for high volume as well. Nice features. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.